Okay, the key to this is to write it down, commit, and you have to ask yourself, are my current goals making me excited or energized like Mia always is and like I always am? That's because friends like Mia and Aisha, we got all this energy, and even Wilner, we got energy. So is this making you like jump and do flips, your goals? Do my goals belong to me, or are they my wife's goals? Does my wife want rental properties, or do I? Well, yeah, my wife wants rental properties, that's fine, but I have to want it first for my family. The reason I do it is for my family. I want to leave a legacy for my 7 children and my grandchildren. And I'm going to put it in a trust where they can't sell it. My son's going to be I already told my kids. My son's the executor because he has rentals. He's got a master's in business. He's an officer in the Army. I'm going to keep the properties. You know how many probate sellers that I talk to? What's the first thing they do? They sell the property. Their dad had it for years, and they sell it at a discount, or they list it for full market. They're not going to sell our properties. All my kids are going to cash flow for the rest of their lives. What do I really, really want? What do you want? Ask yourself, what do you want? What do you want? Put it on your goal. Write it down. You'll be surprised, the power of writing. And don't type it into your iPhone, Mia. I got kids Mia's age. All they do is put stuff on their iPhone. You have to write it down.
I write down.
You got to write it, and write it with your left hand if you're right-handed. I write with both hands.
That's what
Bob Proctor, my mentor, taught me that. I've been writing left-handed for a year. Every morning I write my goals left-handed, and then at night I write down my day's activities, how my day went at night, and what I'm going to do tomorrow right-handed with different colors ink. I'm an ink color guy. Blue in the morning, red at night. Don't beat me up about it. It works. I got that from Bob Proctor, the Proctor Gallagher Institute. My left-handed writing is just as good as my right. I eat with my fork with my left hand just as good as my right. I can brush my teeth, comb my... I don't even know what you call it, but I can do with both hands. When I was playing baseball in high school, I was a switch hitter. I have a left-handed granddaughter. I'm like, look, honey, I can write left-handed. I play guitar too, and I told my granddaughter I'm going to switch to strings and learn how to play guitar left-handed. I play guitar pretty well too. And I sing too. I almost bought it today. I was going to play you guys a song.
And you didn't.
It'd be like no meetup ever. Oh, the host sang us a song.
Right,
I was thinking, I should, when I tell people,
you have to.
I was thinking, when I tell people, go ahead and sit down, we're going to start soon. I was thinking, while everybody's sitting down, I could play a little ditty.
You should have.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah,
okay.
I love it.
I'll think about it. We'll see what happens.
Who doesn't like it?
Okay. So you have to believe. That's why I put it in red. You can put a goal down that you want to make 100 grand this year, but if you don't believe it, and you don't take the necessary action and behavior, this is a word that we use called praxis. That's when you integrate behavior with your belief. So I believe I can get 100 doors by 2029. Now what am I going to do to get that? I got to do more creative deals, more lease options, more subject twos. I got to earn more money in wholesaling so I can buy more properties cash. I got to link up with lenders that are going to leverage their money to buy more. So goals are good, but you have to have an action plan to achieve those goals. You got to come to meetups like this and talk to people who have achieved those goals. You want to be a millionaire? You need to talk to a millionaire and figure out how they did it. Or read some of these books, like I do. I read. All I do is read. Audiobooks, regular books. When I was banged up and on Social Security, when I got exposed to something at the post office, all I did was watch TV. All I did was sit around feeling sorry. Right, honey? I was miserable. I'm surprised this lady stayed with me. I was miserable. I told you, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when I got paralyzed, that's when I took action. So that I thank God every day for me being paralyzed in 2017, because I wouldn't be standing here right now. So my point is, I had a good why. I didn't want to die. And I didn't want to be on Social Security. I wanted to take care of myself and my family. So my daughter took me to that event. I discovered wholesaling, and here I am. I can't believe it, because I took action. But to answer your question, somebody said it's hard. Who's the one that said change is hard? It is. It is. It was hard. But I did it every day, like it was a religion, every day. And I still do it every day. I listen to the lessons. I do my morning ritual. I play the guitar. I study my lessons. Voy para el Creole. Voy para el Creole a mi mue. I got more Haitian friends than I have Hispanic friends. I speak Spanish too, but I speak more Haitian Creole than Spanish now. But I work on that every day. I like it. If you don't like something, you're not going to learn it, you're not going to love it, it's not going to stick. You got to kind of trick your subconscious into, like, you got a food that you hate, but you know it's good for you. You got to trick your subconscious and say, no, this is good. I love it. It tastes like ice cream, but it's nasty, but you know it's good for you. Like broccoli sprouts. I'm a vegan, by the way. I became a vegan because I was very sick, and I got out of the hospital. I was paralyzed, so I went online. I told a few of you guys.
I've been waiting because people told me.
I've been telling you. I've told a few people about this, but basically, yeah, I was almost gonna die. I was on a walker, the whole 9 yards, a cane. I was shopping for a scooter. I was parking in little old ladies' parking spots with their handicap placards. It was embarrassing, man. I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk. I was on like 25 medications. The doctors were telling me I'll be on this stuff for the rest of my life, right? They literally dropped an anchor on me. I had to reprogram my brain.
You're like, nope.
I had to eliminate all that programming and replace it with new programming. It was very difficult. It took me almost a year to get my head right, of every day working on it, every day. And then I found the Proctor Gallagher, and they helped me, and I'm like, this is freaking incredible. I want to help other people. So I became a certified consultant. I paid them a ton of money to become certified. But now, I help that. The first person I helped was going to put a gun in his head, in his mouth. And I'm like, what are you going to do that for? Oh, my wife this, my wife that. You got a freaking beautiful house, you got a wife. Why would you do that? His head was off. I gave him the program. Now he's opening businesses. Another one that I had, he was getting a divorce. Very sad. I told him I've been divorced. I was married 9 years before I met that wonderful lady back there. It's not the end of the world, brother. There was another person here that said they were divorced. I think she left. It's not the end of the world, man. 9 years, it didn't work out. But now, 29 years with that lady, thank you. So, well, thank you for that. It wasn't me, believe me, it was her. She should have left me a long time ago. I was a miserable guy to live with. I was angry, I was in pain, I was major pity party. Totally different guy than I am today. But I reprogrammed myself, and I created the belief that I can do very well and create businesses, but my behavior matched that belief. I take action. I call. I started a meetup. I pay for this entire meetup. Our companies pay for this meetup. You guys didn't pay 1 penny to get in here. You pay for food, the venue, everything, all this equipment. I've been to meetups where they charge you 20 bucks to walk in the door. And what do? They sell you a bunch of nonsense, like this pre-foreclosure list and all this, money lenders that. They come up here and try to sell you stuff. I got nothing to sell you. I have a coaching program for mindset, but I can't, even if all of you wanted to sign up for it, I wouldn't do it. I got too many businesses. I'm very selective who I help get their head right. You got to be really messed up and be really committed to change for me to help you. Okay, the other lady that I helped late last year, she had a business that failed. Every time I talked to her, she cried about, oh, my business failed, I'm afraid to start a business. Your head's wrong, your head's wrong. And then she had a beautiful little boy, and she said, I want to have another boy, but I can't. When I said, well, I know why you can't. She said, why? Because you keep saying you can't. Your subconscious hears that. Your fallopian tubes are like this because you're telling them to be like this. She signed up for my program. In less than her problem was confidence. 9 out of 10 people that I work with, their problem is confidence. Confidence. And where does confidence come from? It comes from understanding. Fear and lack of confidence is directly correlated with lack of understanding. If you understand that there's a bear in that dark cave, you know not to go in there. But if you know there's a pot of gold in that black dark cave, you're going to go in because you understand there's something nice in there, right? It's all about understanding. Once you understand, you no longer have fear. And once you keep doing it, now your confidence is built up. And if you could communicate in another language, even if my friend Wilner speaks English as good as I do, when I say, how you doing, Zami Mueg? Sak pase? Even if that's all I know, like when I first started, the fact that I made the effort to communicate with him in his birth language, they appreciate it. Immediate rapport. Immediate. People like to speak in their native language. I speak Spanish too. Most of my friends are from Haiti. I like the Haitian people. They're hard workers like me. I have a lot of respect for them. Practice, behavior, goals. Write your goals every day. Use that accountability sheet, make copies. If you guys need anything else, just let me know. I'll email them to you. There's a couple of things I want to show you here. That's the sheet that I gave you guys. By signing it, you're pretty much committing, and you're putting a timeline. These 6 actions will be done today before I lay my head on the pillow. You have to give yourself a timeline. If your goal is to make $100,000, you have to be specific. I want to make $100,000 before December 31st, 2023. I'm going to make that money by adding value to people, serving others, being the best realtor I can be, being the best wholesaler I can be, doing at least 5 offers a day, going door knocking at least 10 people on Saturday. So now I have an action plan to fulfill my goals, right? I like that you're nodding your head. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, because when you're nodding your head, that's your subconscious agreeing.
Yeah, I do.
So you gotta take action. Goals are only as good as the action you take to achieve them. Even if you have a compass on a ship, which is a AKA goal, if you don't pay attention to the compass and don't believe that compass is right, you're going to crash into a rock like the Titanic, or you're going to wander around the ocean lost. So goals are critical, but you got to take action, and you got to believe. Belief is critical. Honey, remember when we signed up for that coach for $42K in 2018?
Yeah.
And we put it on 2 credit cards? My wife looked at me. Back then, we were living paycheck to paycheck. I would think I was getting $2,500 a month from Social Security or something like that. Right? I wasn't getting any retirement from the post office. I'm raising 7 kids on $2,500 a month, and I was grateful to have it. Honey, when they said the coaching program's 42 grand, what did I say?
Crazy.
My wife looked at me.
So we'll do this, it'll get us started, and it'll get paid off, and no problem.
Okay, I told my wife, I said, honey,
It's the beginning.
honey, look at me. We're gonna do well. We're going to pay off these credit cards. We're going to make this business work. You had my word. Do you remember the day we paid off all those credit cards? We paid off all, I remember, $89,000 in credit cards that I put on coaching. I paid them all off. I wrote a $20,000 check. I wrote a $17,000 check. When I went to pay my taxes that year, my accountant said, oh, you owe $53,000. You want to make payments? And I said, no, Louis, I'll write a check. His jaw dropped. I think he makes 50 grand a year. But before I went to that event, in my mind, the most I could ever make was 50 grand. 50, 60, maybe with overtime as a mailman. I might make 60 or 70 with overtime, killing myself, working 12 hours a day in the rain, getting bit by dogs and shot by lightning and rain.
Mosquitoes.
Putting paper in the metal boxes. But it took care of my family. We had good benefits. I'm actually collecting retirement from them now. Even though I was disabled, I was still a union member, and now I'm getting full benefits. Coincidentally,
deserve it.
yeah, they're giving it to me. Thank you, Lord.
Good for you.
Thank you. So I gave my wife a promise. We're going to do it. We paid off all the credit cards. So we had all these credit cards paid off. Now these creditors are kissing our butts. They sent us a bunch of credit cards with zero. I covered this in one of my last meetups. They sent us a bunch of credit cards. Remember the meetup that I covered this, Wilner? They sent me a bunch of credit cards with 0% interest. So now I got like $90,000 worth of credit at 0% interest. What would you do? What would you do, my friend?
Invest.
My friend from Nepal. What would you do?
Invest.
I told my wife, hey, honey, we're going to buy that property in Margate. I had it on the contract for 108. It was a first floor unit. The days on market were like 3. Okay? Nothing active. It was a referral. It was a referral. The lady called me. She's a firefighter. And her wife, it was her wife's property. They're getting married. They don't need it. It was vacant for 3 years. It had water damage because the first floor unit had water from the roof, from the AC. It was mold remediation. It was nasty. The ARV's over 200. 215 to be exact. The fourth floor unit sold for 215 in December, and it was dated, not magnificent. Okay? So we closed. I did not pay her closing costs like I normally do. I didn't offer, she didn't ask. I normally pay the closing costs. We closed. We used our own cash. We rehabbed it. I listed it. And we got a buyer in less than a day at $10K over asking. We're closing April 3rd. And now the guy next door, Unit 104, he saw my business card that I left for the mail lady, because now I guess you got to change your own mailbox locks. When I was a mailman, we would change the locks. And now the mailman, they don't change your locks if you live in an apartment. You have to get the lock from Lowe's, wait till they're there, show proof you own it, and change it yourself. So I left my card there, Oasis Property Investments, I buy houses. The guy 2 units down from mine, he calls me. Hey, I see that you buy houses. I'm like, how'd you get my card? Oh, I saw it at the lobby. So I'm like, yeah, I buy houses. So I said, what's the address? He tells me the address, and I'm like, dude, we're neighbors. The guy's broke. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but this is another interesting. This is real. This is happening right now today. The guy's broke. His wife just passed away in December from COVID. She was 46 years old. She died from COVID. He got a lawyer because they kind of screwed up, and the hospital messed up, and she died. So he's got a lawyer. He's broke. They took her car. She had a car under her name. They came and took it. They said, you pay it off or we're taking it. They took it. My hairs are standing up. It broke my heart when I heard this story. Now here's where it gets interesting. The property's not even under his name. It's not even under his wife's name. It's under his wife's mother's name. She's in heaven. She's been in heaven for a long time. So I met with him at the unit. He told me the story, and I called a good friend of mine that's a probate attorney. I have a lot of attorney friends, direct friends that are attorneys. This, and her husband's a wholesaler. If you ever need a good probate attorney, let me know. I called Jenny. Jenny, I got a client. This is what's going on. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, does he have the will? Do you have the will? He has the will. Is it the original? It's the original. Perfect. Okay. We set an appointment. We went. She saw everything. I can get this done for you in 30 days. I went all the way to Miami with him. I brought the listing agreement. Why did I bring a listing agreement? I wanted him to get every penny that property can give him. I told him what I paid for mine. I said, Eric, I paid 108 for mine, but it was nasty. The whole kitchen had mold. Everything was nasty. It was a full gut job pretty much. So I said, look, I'm not going to lowball you because his unit wasn't horrible. It was a little dated, but it was nice. But it's cluttered. It's got all his wife's, the walker and all that stuff and all this, I don't know, it had a bunch of medical stuff there. The master shower was loaded with like paper towels. I think he's kind of like a hoarder. So I told him the truth. I said, look, I can list it for you. I just listed mine, and in 2 days I got a buyer for $245. And you agents in the room, when you have a listing, do you save the buyers that call you? When you have a listing and you got a buyer, an agent that calls you with a buyer,
For sure.
do you save them?
Yeah, you got to.
Why do you save them?
Well, because there's going to be other listings right around there.
I saved all. This is why I have this phone, because I don't think the iPhone, I got an iPhone at home too, but this is why I got this phone. An Android can save phone numbers, cash buyer, lenders, wholesalers, prospects, listing prospects. Right here, I got like 5,000 people in this phone. It's incredible. Okay, so I called some of the agents. Hey, you came to see my property, but I kind of sold it too fast. I got another one right next door. I think I already got it sold before. I'm listing it Friday. That's coming soon. I think I already got it sold. But I'm only listing his at $229.9 because it needs a little work. Even the agent agreed that was a good price. But we need to declutter it because I'm still taking listing pictures because it's going to be a record of the sale, right? My agent friends. So even like in the future, people are going to look at that property and look at the pictures. And pictures are everything when you're a listing agent. So I told them this weekend, we're going to go and we're going to declutter it. I had to explain to him what declutter is. He's from Puerto Rico. That's another reason we bonded, so am I. He's going to sell and move to Puerto Rico. We got to declutter. He's got no money. His tankless water heater broke. We got to fix that before we close. So I talked to my friend, the attorney. She's a real estate attorney, and she's licensed. I said, Jenny, am I doing any kind of conflict by paying this guy's? First of all, I paid for his probate. I paid $500 up front with my company check that my wife signed. Why did my wife sign? Exactly. Even though Jenny said, I don't see any problem with it, I had my wife sign the check under the company name because I'm the listing agent. She is not licensed, but she's under our S Corp, Oasis Property Investments, Inc. Now, my attorney friend is going to take her fee at closing, $2,574 at closing, plus the $500 paid up front. that's going to be reimbursed to me at closing. It's going to be an addendum. $1,500 for the tankless water heater in an addendum. I'm going to be paid that at closing. And Jenny is going to do the closing as well. Even though in Broward County, the buyer picks the closer, not on this one. It's probate. My girl's taking care of everything. If the buyer don't want to do it, I'll find another buyer. I've already got like 10 buyers for that place. So when people tell me, oh, I can't get listings, the market's difficult, oh, blah, blah. What are you doing? Ask yourself, what are you doing? Are you writing down your goals? How many listings do you want to get this month? Do you have a goal on the amount of listings you get? I'm asking you.
I'm not looking for listings, but I'm looking for other things. But
Why aren't you looking? Aren't you an agent?
yeah, I just have other.
Okay. You have other income sources?
I have different goals.
Okay, so that's another thing that I talk to my clients about. You have to have multiple sources of income to be wealthy in this country. If one source of income takes a dump, you got a backup. We were doing our taxes. I said, honey, look, this is how much this company made, this is how much this other company we have made, this is how much this is how much I made as a realtor. I have 4 sources of income. That's how people get wealthy. We're talking about opening up a painting company. Oasis Painting Company. Oasis Title Company. Why not? It's easy. Get a truck, a paint, a couple of guys, and start doing business. Anyway, let me get back to this. Okay, so goals are critical. Okay. I carry a gold card. My goal, March 22nd, 2023, I'm so happy and grateful now that I earn $1 billion a year, quickly and easily, from multiple sources on a continuous basis for the good of all, directly in my account.